Hey, what's up, Christian Network Marketers community? Tasha here, and if you're joining live, make sure that you say hello. And it's Friday, and this is when we usually do an interview with a community member. And due to a scheduling snafu, unfortunately, you're stuck with me today. So I started with a quote from one of my favorite heroes in the entire world, Wesley from The Princess Bride. I hope you will consider me as an alternative to suicide. Hi, Veronica. Hi, Heather. Hi, Kirsten. Okay, this is also podcasting, so I'll wait and talk to you guys. So how is God working in my business? For those of you that are new to the group, I run a sales and leadership coaching business. We have 6 coaches that work with us. I started a few years ago thinking I would have a part-time one-on-one practice, and it has exploded to full-time work for many, many, many people. And we have served over 7,000 clients in the past couple of years. So God's blessing has certainly been upon us. And sometimes it feels like more times than others. And in the last 6 months or so, I really have been kicked in the teeth a lot. And so each day I wake up, I mean, most days, right? Let's be real. Sometimes the morning gets a little crazy, but I wake up and I ask God for 3 things: wisdom, clarity, and divine appointments. Now, when my business was growing like wildfire, isn't it funny how we don't make those same prayers? And I feel so much regret for those times. And I need to shake that. Because if I would have just at those times asked for wisdom, clarity, and divine appointments, I think that, I would have in general done a much better job. And today I just want to share with you some of the fruit of those prayers. The first, I pray for wisdom. And one of my favorite verses in Proverbs is, though it costs you all you have, seek wisdom at all costs. And I suppose, I'm a professional business coach, so maybe that's why I love that so much. But I love that because that was the verse that showed up the day I met Heather, my business coach, and I pursued wisdom at all costs, and it really paid off. And as I was praying for wisdom, clarity, and divine appointments, that is when I actually hired a second coach last October, who has been really amazing and supportive and has led to some of these amazing divine appointments. And so I feel like through divine appointments, God has led me to this second coach, which is just such a huge blessing in my life, which is leading to more divine appointments and clarity. I wake up, I have this leadership Bible here that I try to stick with, and I've had it for almost 20 years now. And I try to take whatever shows up in the devotional and implement it practically that day. And I've seen that helping. So pursuing wisdom from humans and also pursuing wisdom from God has been really awesome. Number 2, clarity. I've spent more time journaling about my business, evaluating what's going well and what's not going well, setting clear goals and clear roles. And over the past 6 months, really have felt God, the market, whatever, individual conversations, providing a lot of clarity around the roles of each person on our team. And I'm really excited now that like 90% of my job is audience facing, as opposed to maybe, 50% most of last year. So that's exciting. I feel God giving clarity there. And then divine appointments. Since last October, I've been in the middle of a PR, public relations nightmare, that I didn't even know was going on. So there were a lot of things that have been said about me, which are not true, which really stinks. Like if they're true, that'd be one thing, but if they're not true, that really stinks. That have really had a lot of impact on relationships with leaders that I didn't even know what was going on. And so I thought everything was going wrong. Like, what were we doing wrong? When it was really this. And, gossip hurts people, guys. When you're more than just like hurts people's feelings. Gossip can, hurt people financially. It can hurt their confidence. It can really impact a lot of things. So I want to, warn you against that. If you guys are watching, make sure you say hi. Now, so as I was praying for wisdom, clarity, and divine appointments, I was like, what I had in mind was so different. So especially when it comes to divine appointments, I was thinking, oh my gosh, what would be awesome is if I could just connect with a leader and they would run a private group, and that would be awesome. And we'd be humming along right back to where we're used to. And those are not the divine appointments that have shown up, which kind of is like frustrating. But I want to share with you the story about this divine appointment. When I came back on Monday and I was telling Karen about my trip to Ottawa, she just looked at me and said, wow, that's a divine appointment if I haven't seen one. And, a few months ago, we started a project, an outreach project to kind of work to fortify some of our leader relationships. And Karen got me the speaking thing in Ottawa, Canada, right? Like, it's not a big city. It's going to be February winter, Ottawa, Canada, small little event. And I said yes. We said yes. And so chatting with the leader, we worked it all out, and it was going to be really good. Well, while I was there, one of a really, really influential leader, she had also gotten to come and speak, and we had a chance to chat. And this person has now become a really cool ally. And when we think about divine appointments, sometimes we think about the immediate divine appointment, which I think God knows what we need that day. Sometimes it is an immediate divine appointment, and, it has immediate turnaround. And sometimes God knows that we need more. Maybe it's a bigger appointment, but it's going to take a little longer. And, my patience, I struggle with that. I don't know if you guys struggle with that too. But I just feel like every week there's just some sort of divine appointment that's showing up if we look for things in that way. Instead of saying, oh man, that's a great relationship, it's not going to come to fruition for 6 months. Like, that's not, that's looking a gift God has given you in the face, and that's not helpful. And that's some of the struggle that I have been working with. And so I just wanted to share with you that just how grateful I am that God has been, faithful in answering that prayer for wisdom, clarity, and divine appointments. On the testimony video, I usually ask what's a practical tip. And my practical tip is, instead of asking why, or should I, or do I want to, or am I afraid of that, or will I be successful, or those types of questions, I changed the question to why not? Is there a good reason why not? So if I think about Ottawa, I think, is there a good reason not to go? There really wasn't. It's going to be cold. It's not a good reason not to go. I can wear a jacket. It's not that big of a deal. Why not, right? If someone asked me to speak at this thing, why not? My health is good. My mind is sharp. Why not? And I think about some of the friendships and relationships, when one of my coaches recommended me to a client well out of my league, or so I felt, I chatted with her and I said, well, my goal is to get you joy in your business. And that got her, right? And it's been just such an amazing relationship. And I spoke with a really, like, literally one of the most powerful women in network marketing, like, as in was invited to speak as at the conference, the most powerful women in network marketing. And I went up and I said hi, and we chatted, and, I offered some tech help, being a professional trainer. Oh, hey, Allison, I was just talking about you being a divine appointment. So you'll need to go back and watch this. I feel like, Allison, our appointment in Ottawa was certainly God ordained, and I'm grateful for you being bold enough to ask. And I have made friends with this individual, and it's just been such a blessing. And these are all divine appointments that God gives us. And if we're bold enough to say, why not? I feel like God is in the business of asking the question, why not? Like, why not walk on water? Why not? right? Why not save the world? Why not create a world? Like, he didn't ask, why should I, will I do a good job when he created the world? He's just like, why not? At least that's how I imagine. And I look back, I always think about how at the end of my life, I want to make sure that I don't have any regrets. When I was 12, this is such a cheesy story, but I was a really, really good baseball player. I played with the boys. I have a really, really strong arm. So I was an all-star pitcher. And we had all-stars, and I really wanted to play hockey. And my mom said, you can't play two sports at once. And so we kept winning in all-stars. And I kept being like, man, I want to go play hockey. I want to go play hockey. When is this baseball going to be over? Well, then high school hit, and I had to switch sports to softball. And it was the last game I ever pitched. I wasn't even enjoying it. And it was at the time A League of Their Own came out, and I remember watching that movie bawling because being a baseball pitcher was one of the greatest joys of my childhood, and I screwed it up with looking to something else instead of being present. And I don't know, I think, God can give us wisdom at a young age, and I made a vow. Of course, I went out and bought a No Fear. Do you guys remember No Fear, that brand? A t-shirt that said no regrets, and I vowed to live the rest of my life not regretting the things that I didn't stay present in, or I didn't take advantage of. And I want to encourage you to do that. Lucille Ball has this great quote about regretting. I want to regret the things that I did, not the things I didn't do. And I want to think, for 2019, that's what I want to do. I want to regret the things I did as opposed to the things I didn't do. I want to say more of why not as opposed to why. And I think that is going to be helpful. And so I hope that these thoughts are encouraging to you or a blessing to you today as you just go in. And I want to encourage you to ask for every day for wisdom, clarity, divine appointments, and to just stop and say, well, why not? I hope you guys have a great day, and I will talk to you soon. Next Tuesday afternoon, last thing actually, we're going to do a workshop on Proverbs and the Bible. So just make sure you comment below if you want information on that. We'll make sure you get the link. You can also go to the events tab in the group and sign up. It's only $12. It'll be awesome. It's one of my favorite workshops, and I hope to see you there. So that's it for today. Okay, I'm going to go do the rest of my work and probably write the post for this group for next week before my next meeting. All right, take care, guys.